So I finally finished it. Here's the complete rundown on the drill press stand that I built, along with the help from John. Basically, I got that 15.5 inch jet drill press, and I wanted to make it versatile because within my garage, this is about the only space that I got because the cars sit over here. So the welding table and this and the vise in the back. So I wanted to make sure I could maximize this thing with the space that I had allowed, and that meant a couple different things. So going through it, first and foremost, I went ahead and built this so that I could have the Shopvac off of here, and it'll basically unwind itself and roll around into here so that when you're drilling, you can pick up the chips that come flying off the drill press. Kind of keep it clean because Brenda gets mad when I bring in metal chips into the carpet, which I can't blame her. And then this whole entire thing, basically, if I need to use the Shopvac for anything else, it unhooks, and then I can just take it out of the rack and bring it back up. So when it's sitting in the rack like that, it's just out of the way, off the floor. And then I went and put power in, so that is plugged in along with the drill press down underneath here, which goes underneath the bottom of the floor and comes out to a high phase breaker connection to go to the wire, or go to the plug-in. So the whole thing sits on there. It's gusseted underneath to carry the weight. The whole thing weighs about 170 pounds, I think, something like that. So it makes it kind of nice, and like I said, I really kind of thought it through. It's got the rolling casters on it with lockers, so I can push it out of the way when I'm not using it. And there's a whole bunch of pictures of going through the build of it, so you can check those out. So this jet drill press is something I picked up on a Black Friday special. The guy had 2 left and basically worked with me on a great deal, so I ended up buying it. It's 3/4 horsepower, very much robust for what I'll be doing, and I was happy with it. So here's an example of having that Shopvac attached to the back rack of this drill press stand. As you can see, it just clamps on and makes it really easy picking up the pieces of metal flying around. The next phase was just basically to get the dimensions of where I thought this thing would sit in well, get the metal cut, get it tack welded together, and just kind of size the overall thing up to make sure it was going to fit what was expected. Next was to cut up the 3/32 inch plate steel. Go ahead and TIG weld that to the bottom of the frame and get ready to accept these 4.5 inch locking and swivel casters. So I'm very happy with it. This drill press comes in about 150 pounds, so I wanted to make sure I had some support underneath of it because as you can see, it's bolted right to the top of this plate. So I put in some 1 inch square tube underneath of it and cut the holes for the bolts to go through. Coming down to the end, the last thing to do was to put in the floor, so I needed to go ahead and get some support underneath to handle the 12 gauge sheet metal that I plasma cut. Get some space in for the electrical plugs. I wanted to make sure I had a multi-phase plug with a breaker switch on it. And all of that came together and mounted up real nice. Something that didn't come with the drill press was a drill press vise. So I jumped on Amazon and checked all the ratings, and this one seemed to come to the top most of the time. It's a 3-way drill press vise. It's machined on all 3 surfaces, and that allows for drilling on all axes with a single setting. It'll hold long pieces of material, which can be difficult to manage in regular vices. One of the things I wanted to accomplish was having a foot switch that would turn on and off the Shopvac whenever I needed it. So I went ahead and got this off of Amazon, and basically all you got to do is step on the pedal and it turns on the Shopvac, and then when you don't need it, you just take your foot off the switch and it dies out. It ended up working out real well, and it helped me keep the chips from flying out of the way. I had these boxes left over from something else. I wanted to get a place to put all the drill bits, circular cutting pieces, anything related to the drill, have them close by, and this is how it ended up. So overall, project's done. I'm happy with it. Let me know what you think about in the comments.